Previously on Dances with Dice, when last we left our heroes, they had made their plans, training undertaken by Theo to become a worm speaker, Doran deciding on what he wanted to do and where to head, and Felix an opportunity to potentially confront their past. Plans set and moving in motion. But new lessons, new horizons, and new mysteries await our heroes this week on Dances with Dice.
All right. So you guys have made your plans and decisions. Dashgarum decides not to waste any time, Theo, and they are going to begin the ritual the same day. Everyone is invited, and you can all. And it is actually requested that you are there to witness and provide aid if necessary.
Need witnesses. It's like a wedding.
Witness me.
Witness me. Hey, this can be you guys too. You just have to like worship dragons a little bit more, like me.
Nah.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure you had to be the person who believed in all this before anybody else did. That's why you've been rewarded this. It's for that devotion of everyone calling you crazy, but you were just like, no, I know what's happening. I know what's coming.
I know it.
The paranoid man. The paranoid man sleeps with a knife. Stupidly, only once.
No, it's like the man. Morgan, what's the machete thing?
The man who sleeps with a machete is a fool every night but one.
Yes, the man
yes,
with
there we go.
That is Theo's life motto right there. It's like, listen, I will be right one day. Until then, y'all can go fuck yourselves.
The man who screams about the dragon cults is a fool every day but one.
I will remind you about every other day in which you were a fool.
And I will remind you about the day that I wasn't.
I feel like it's gonna be like you're gonna be in the middle of like the final boss fight, and it'll be like, you know, a year from now in real time, and it's just like be in the final boss fight, like Theo's clashing swords flying on the back of a dragon. It's like Felix, hey Felix, I was right.
I was right. I was right. She's
wrong first.
It's just like, I was right. And she like flies by on her dragon. Doppler. I was right.
Every one of Hannah's characters has to have one of those moments where it's like there's
vindication.
Very vindicated, just like you suck it. Yeah,
for Karma, it was you don't hang up on me, I hang up on you. Yeah.
This is
which again, I guess for the audience at large, I play in 2 other campaigns with Hannah. She has been chasing that high for 4 years.
Oh my god, I've never felt more alive. In another campaign, we did get to have like a minute with a guy who had a very similar voice to him, and I was like, "Can I?" And he hung up on me, and I was like, "Can I call him back?" And Zach was like, "No."
She has been chasing this fucking high for 4 goddamn years. Anyway.
Also, Mikhail was such a hateable character that it was so satisfying. You know?
Do you guys miss me?
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Again.
So you are all in the you're all out in sort of like what is a training field. Like there's some broken down like sparring dummies and things like that. Dashgarum has set up something of like there's several like draconic runes. Anyone who can read draconic, you see the 3 runes read life, connection partnership, and they form something of a triangle, all connected by a circle. Dashgarum, sort of just like the baby dragon has now grown to probably it's about the size of like a full-grown Maine Coon at this point, like from like about a kitten size to now about a big Maine Coon. And he's still just kind of stroking, and like it sort of like raises its head and like, and like in your minds you hear like a little sleep. It's like, hi friends. Grandpa says, and like this is very directed at you, Theo. It's like, Grandpa says we're gonna become better friends today. I don't know what that means.
Was that a quote from him?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. I'm looking forward to it.
Dashgarum sort of like sets them down in the center of the the ritual circle. It's like looks at Finian, Felix and Felix and Doran.
Not even alive anymore. Still can't get it right.
There had to be one for old time's sake. He looks at both Felix and Doran. It's like, should I signal for you? Please break whatever connection might exist between myself and Theo, should this go poorly. Theo, and he holds his...
How could it go poorly again? Remind us? What? You want to let the class know?
You are binding your life forces together. While that does not mean that should you expire or should your dragon expire, you will die. You are binding your souls in such a way that you will be one. Fundamentally, how you see yourself, how you exist will change. You are one half of a whole, in addition to being an entirety of yourself. It's difficult to describe without experiencing. But given that you are tying two life forces together, that's not an exact science. Are you ready, Theo?
Theo looks to Felix before looking to Dashgarum and says,
Yes, I'm ready.
Right.
Hold out your hands.
she holds out her hands.
Slap one.
You fail. Oh.
He basically lays his hands flat. You place your hands on top of his, and you feel as you touch, and you hear him start whispering he's whispering under his breath in ancient Draconic. You can pick up a few like words here and there, like you could pick up like, connection, care, balance, but because it's like just because you're fluent in English, you would not really understand Old English in the same way that like you speak Draconic, but you're working through a couple hundred years of language evolutions that you're now removing from your vocabulary. So like, you pick up a couple words here and there. And then finally his eyes meet you, Theo, and his golden eyes are blazing. You can almost see like a fire lit within them. It's like,
Theodosia Lacour, do you accept the responsibility of the worm speakers?
Yes, I do.
Do you promise to faithfully execute our order's long-standing principles of protection, safety, and justice for all?
Yes, I do.
Should you be called upon
will you sacrifice all you have to protect this world?
Yes, I will.
Do you pledge a portion of your soul in defense of this dragon, and this dragon's soul in defense of yours?
Yes, I do.
Open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, Theo, you feel like a spark of electricity run between the palms of your hands, and then down into, and then this, like almost like a small lightning storm, sort of like sort of explodes between the dragon and yourself. Your eyes roll into the back of your head, and you find yourself sort of falling through this like endless white space.
Oh dear.
You can sense that there is a bottom beneath you that you are rapidly approaching, but you cannot stop yourself for any reason. And just as you feel yourself about to hit the bottom of whatever this chasm is, you feel a as this bright flash of blue, purple, and black sort of appears out of the ether, sort of flies underneath you and like catches you almost, and you feel this sort of like this almost like harp note play in your mind as you land on the back of this creature, as this voice almost like a complimentary melody, like you would find in a concerto, where you are one half of a duet and this voice is another, and you feel for a moment like your soul is complete, and you hear in your head, it's like, oh, that was dangerous. Hello, Theo. My name is Nori, Lady of the Sky. It's very nice to meet you. And as you open your eyes, you find, as you begin to open your eyes, Doran and Felix, you watch as this sort of like white cloud of smoke and lightning sort of envelops like the three people sort of standing in front of you, and like you sort of like there's like crackling of power and magic, and then you like there's like a sort of almost like small explosion, and then as you kind of cover your eyes, and then as you open them, you see laying before you, sort of Dash Garm is still sort of like kneeling there, but now a couple feet away, and then laying there, their wings spread out, now much larger, probably about the size of an adult horse, is this a black, a blue, purple, and black sapphire dragon. It almost looks like a swirling galaxy that plays across the entirety of its colorscape. Its top half more blue, its belly and legs more purple, with a perfect dividing line of like this silvery gray black sort of running between the two colors that combine up in the wings into this beautiful almost galaxy pattern across the wings and the wing membrane. And you both kind of like stand there for a moment before, like, Theo, you open your eyes and you like sort of like sit up and roll over, and you notice what you're sitting on, and notice the size of the dragon beneath you, and this sort of head curls back up and looks down at you, and you are greeted by two stunningly gorgeous, almost, it looks like just literal gemstones of but these ruby red, just beautiful eyes staring back at you. It's like, hello, Theo.
Hello, Nori. You got big very fast.
Yeah.
Doran takes
Doran, what?
Doran takes a knee.
Oh.
Okay. It's like, and then you watch like the head's like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. No, you're and you like, and then very quickly, like the dragon tries to stand up and then realizes like, oh no, Theo's on my back, and then like stops moving, and then it's like a cat like twisted up in like in a blanket almost, just like, oh, I want to like stand up and run over and like because very much views you as a friend. And then, so I guess Theo, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Wee. Okay, that's not bad. That's 16 plus 2, so 18.
18. Okay, so you like reach back and like you grab onto a couple of Nori's spines as she like rolls over like a horse, like standing up, like all gangly legged, like the one wing sort of flaps out and like sort of hits Dashgarm in the shoulder. It's like, and it's like she like sort of stands up, and then you're there, Theo, just sort of like sitting on her back, like a little bit, just like, oh, okay, we're doing this, and like Nori sort of ambles over. It's like, no, please don't do that. That's really weird for me.
But it's a sign of respect.
Okay, gotcha. And then she also kneels and like goes like she like sort of bends her like front like legs down and is now on like her knees, and it's like so like her face is like things like, I respect you too.
Fucking incredible.
Oh, Doran's like just holding back like from laughing because this is kind of adorable, but also he's trying to like it because he's military, so he's like this is like a serious like thing, and he's like,
I learn your
is
customs.
everything okay? Because he's like wants to maintain that, but he's also like
I know what we're doing. Oh, I get it. It's like hang on, and she reaches down and like touches her snout to your forehead. Doran, you feel a rush of like just pure emotion, almost like as though you could physically hold joy in your hands, as though it was a physical object. You feel that rush through every nerve in your body, just this utter joy of finally, I have found my person. That you can feel rushing through Nori, and you can tell that it is like this joy is directed at Theo on their back. And then they pull their head away. It's like, I have now greeted you as a dragon. And she starts
cracks a smile and stands to his feet and kind of gives her a nod and
Theo, you feel as you sort of settle into this, you finally sort of notice there's like this additional you've sort of used to it, like you've always sort of felt Dashgaram. I'm sorry, not Bargash in your mind. So like you have this feeling, but like there's where Bargash has always been like something you're completely aware of. Like it's very clearly like a foreign thing in your space. Like that you physically can like feel separate from you. You feel the pulse of Nori's soul completely intertwined with yours. You can like at any moment you wanted to, her thoughts become yours, your thoughts can become hers. There is a seamless integration of not only your thought streams, your consciousness, but you can also like as she breathes, you can almost feel that sort of within you as well. As you breathe, she feels it as well. And sort of like your Dashgaram's words sort of echo within you like that, the melding of life forces. And you sort of understand like, okay, while you could live without this connection, you can feel this perfect completion of partnership within you, as though for like putting your like slipping a foot into a perfectly sized shoe, just that complete perfect connection of a missing other half you didn't know existed, and you can feel almost effortlessly each of your movements sort of moving in sync. Nori reaches out to you with your shared connection over your minds, and it's like, I was so excited when you finally picked up the box, and this is so much better. Thank you, Theo.
You're welcome, Ori. Thank you. I hardly even know what to say right now.
That's okay. We're gonna have so much time to talk.
Okay. I'm used to having voices in my head, but somehow this one's different.
How many bitches you got in there?
I don't know. I found out I have 2. Now I got 3.
Your head's crowded.
My head is crowded. Damn, there's not very much room for activities up in this bitch.
This is why she picked fighter. It's like no room for magic.
No room for magic up in this bitch.
Only room for hit.
Don't do a hit.
All right. With that, the ritual is mostly completed. Dashgarm sort of stands up, dusts himself off. It's like, oh, another success. It's been a while since I've done that. I was worried. Nori, if you would not mind, I need to speak with Theo for a little bit so we can begin her training before she can begin the proper process of working with you. You need to go stretch your wings, please. Feel free to go fly. And Nori kind of like stamps her feet like excitedly. It's like kind of looks back at you, Theo. It's like, but we're supposed to fly. It's like, I understand you're excited, Nori, but we need to teach Theo how to fly before you can fly together. And like Nori like kind of sadly nods and like kneels down so you can climb off of her like easily.
I like to imagine Nori goes, okay, and then goes, and then we just hear like a tub of as she's like learning how to fly. She's like, I know how to fucking fly. I'm a dragon. She like sort of kneels down and like lets you get off of her. And it's like she like sort of wraps her neck around you in a bit of a hug. It's like, I'm gonna go fly now. You learn to fly so we can fly together. Sounds good. Sounds good. I don't think I can fly without you, but I will learn to mentally fly if that's what you mean.
That's very fair. Learn how to fly with me.
Yes.
And then we're both ladies of the sky.
Both ladies of the sky. Yes.
That's gonna be so cool.
There's
oh my gosh.
Something just occurred to me. I don't know if I'm afraid of heights.
Oh, you're gonna have to get over that.
Yes, probably.
I really hope you're not, because that's gonna be really awkward.
Me
We
too.
jumped off a building like a day ago.
Oh, we did.
So
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
You did. You're fine.
That's true. I'm probably fine.
You're fine.
Just
It's like, oh
building
wait, no,
height.
yeah, I did jump into it. I did throw myself off the roof into a fountain. I'm fine. No, you know, I'm already over it.
I'm fine. I mean, that wasn't like 2,000 feet into the air.
Theo, you catch Dashgarum out of the corner of your eye, and it's just like, and you can very easily like sort of tell on his face. It's very much the look you've seen from like any teacher. It's like, oh god, there's 2 of them now. Sort of look. And he's like,
are used to that.
so he's like, come Theo, we must begin. Nori, be safe, be careful, and do your best not to crash into the fortress itself. She's like, I'll be okay. And you hear like a boom, boom, like a flapping sound, and you watch as she like sort of takes off very gracefully. And then she just makes it behind the fortress, just out of sight. You hear a it's like, are you all right, Nori? You all just kind of feel in your mind like a very quiet, yeah. All right, try again.
Okay.
And then you all are led back inside. All right, Theo, please roll me an intelligence check with advantage.
Oh boy.
Okay.
$11.
11. Okay. You're okay. Okay.
She's stupid.
You're feeling a little scrambled. You're just like, oh my god. Like I think in those moments, like it's finally hit you. It's like, oh my god, I'm a worm speaker. I'm
Oh my
a
God.
Oh, I did it. Holy shit.
I did it.
I fucking
I did
did it.
I did it. I'm so cool. I'm the coolest person ever.
You did the thing your mom couldn't do.
I did the thing my mom couldn't do. Ha
Take that, mommy issues.
ha.
Dash Garm sort of looks at you. It's like, all right, Theo. That was the easy part.
Oh.
Are you ready for the more difficult portion?
Absolutely.
Excellent. He slams down in front of you what looks to be about 1,000-page thick book, and on it is the title of the book is Dragons 101. Raise it from egg to first flight to final death. It's like, we're going to have to get started from the ground up. I would imagine that you have studied most, if not all, of the available draconic knowledge available to you over the years.
Yes, I have. She's like staring at the book, and she doesn't know what.
And how?
Right. So you are going to be you'll be able to skip most of the middle section of this book that goes over culture and sort of histories and things like that. You're going to again, this is where history meets reality and the non-sexy parts of being a dragon rider. The first 400 pages are all about care. Scale rot is something that desperately wants to be avoided. You're going to have to, especially early on, because Nori's scales have not fully hardened and she is still growing, you're going to have to be very careful when taking her into battle. Investment in some sort of actual draconic armor would be a good idea. And then, of course, there is feeding. She will generally be able to care for herself, but if you are in, say, larger populated areas and things like that, you're going to have to figure out some sort of feeding. At her current size, she will need to eat the equivalent of 1.5 horses every 3 days. That will increase.
She's writing this down.
All of this is, of course, in the book as well. This is going to... We're going to start with this because we kind of have to scrape out... looks at you, it's like, I'm sorry. I'm very bad at ages, especially when you're so young. 24, 25...
26.
26. We're going to have to scrape out 26 years of everything else that's not your draconic knowledge from that little head of yours. So, start with this. It will help sort of empty you out and put you... I believe one student described it as... Oh god, what was his voice? Yes. I think it was something along the lines of... If I wanted to sleep, I could have drunk myself silly. Anyway.
He sounds very annoying.
Jesus Christ.
Tell me more.
It's like, I would love to
Tell
hear
me all
about
his
this
embarrassing
student.
moments.
Anyway, that should help. If you need any assistance or translations, please don't hesitate to ask.
Absolutely. Theo might be stupid, but she's frothing at the mouth at the content at the like an 1,000 something plus page book about dragons that she hasn't gotten to read yet.
Yeah. And like you feel that excitement sort of rush through you, and then you open the first page, and then you see the list of authors listed out, very much in like if anyone has ever read like a scientific medical journal sort of thing. They're listed out like that, and it is in that moment the full weight of your 11 hits you, and it's like, oh shit. Felix, you return to your room after this ritual has occurred, and you kind of watch them. You've watched your friend sort of walk off. Actually, I'll say this: both you and Doran kind of like head back into the like the Great Hall, and it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you're like the other two kids in the group project where it's like, well, it's not our time to work on anything, so what the fuck do we want to do? You guys, I'll say you guys kind of like kind of give yourselves both like the head, like the upwards head tilt, like, okay, bro, we'll go do our own things. And
we're both kind of that type of character where like they're kind of closed off. They don't know who I am, and
it's like Felix is closed off. Doran just got here 3 days ago. Like,
yeah,
we're cool.
We're both kind of just like, cool. Yeah.
The thing that's sort of binding us together is busy right now. We're gonna go do our own thing.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend isn't around, so we have nothing in common. So
it's like that. I don't know if anybody has seen the live action One Piece when freaking Nami's yelling at Zoro to go talk to Luffy about like the whole grandpa being like a freaking admiral in the Navy, and he goes over and he's like, so you want to talk about it? And he's like, talk about what? And he's like, not really. And he's like, good talk, and just walks away. It's kind of it's like that. Like, I mean, you want to talk about anything? Not really. Cool. You know,
it's like you want to talk about what happened in Covenheim? Do you want to talk about what happened in Covenheim? No. Good talk. It's like, all right. It's like, all right.
We've
Talk
got
to you in a couple.
Understanding of like, we'll talk another time.
So it's like real big. All right, see you in a month, sort of energy.
Yeah.
we're both from Covenheim, but we're not going to unpack that yet. It's not time yet.
Vibes
are completely off.
So you guys separate after sharing your little moment, and Felix, you wanted to try to speak to the Everyman.
Yeah.
Are you looking to like teleport yourself back to the continent, or are you gonna try to use that to return back to the sort of hideout that you originally met in when you guys were rescued? How would you like, or I guess, would you like to send a letter? Are you like trying to would you like to try to get in contact him, see if they would like to, if they would reach out to you?
Yeah, I'm gonna send something of just like, ayo, let's meet up. Let's do lunch.
Okay. I will say about like a week of time passes for your message to like reach them, and then one morning you awake, and you open your door. You open the door to your room, and as you step through where you expect to be out in the hallway, you find yourself back in the lavish study of the Everyman that you were used to seeing. There is a dinner. There is a long dining table set with a roast chicken, roast potatoes, salad, 2 very nice jugs of wine. There is a covered, like full, looks like maybe like a dessert of some kind. It smells heavenly. A full, beautiful roast dinner. The Everyman is there. They are in the appearance of a beautiful drow woman tonight. Shocking white hair that goes down to their waist in a long French braid. They are wearing a beautiful evening gown. It is blood red with with a singular slit for a large thigh slit and a plunging neckline that sort of ends right above the rib cage, or right at the end of the rib cage. She's wearing matching red and blue sort of ruby and sapphire jewel sets, along with a beautiful choker that is set in with golden gemstones, and the message on the choker is just its favor with a question mark. And she looks at you. It's like, Felix, oh, it's so lovely to see you, darling. Welcome, welcome. You wanted to have lunch, dinner, breakfast. You know, time flies when you're sort of existing outside of it.
You make me feel dreadfully underdressed every time we speak. It's honestly heartbreaking.
Allow me to fix that. And you watch as they snap their fingers, and suddenly, like, there is a rush of smoke, and you find yourself in a 3-piece charcoal and maroon tuxedo. Your tie, you have a bow tie on that is a checkered maroon and charcoal pattern. Your vest is entirely like maroon with gold sort of silken threads running through it, and then just a beautiful charcoal suit and pants combination. It's like, you're feeling better.
Extraordinarily, actually.
Excellent. Feel free to keep it when you leave. So, you wish to have a conversation. How can I help you?
We finally managed to have some downtime in which something horrible isn't happening.
Well,
So-
hey. Bully to all of you.
I figured I would pick your brain on the thing we discussed. God knows how long out of character, but I was looking for my notes and it was like 2 fucking years ago in character when I first asked about the curse.
Yes, that would have been 7 months ago, or like actually no, about 6 months ago in universe at your first meeting.
You told me I would need something old.
Yes,
Something old and magic.
absolutely.
Any chance you have any ideas where to start on that?
Oh, darling, there's so many old and magic things throughout the world you wouldn't believe. The issue is not finding something old and magical. That's going to be the easiest part of your journey. The issue is finding the right thing that's old and magical. See, we talked about this. The person who made your curse is dead. So unless you're going to resurrect them to get them to undo your curse, you need to find something old and magical and tie the source of your curse. It's the worst sort of feedback loop of magic, these curses. I really don't know why people engage in them anymore, probably because they're so difficult to break, and it really does make life miserable for those who are cursed by it.
I wonder what it's like going through that. Sounds fucking awful.
Oh, you would know. So I suppose I would know too. She reaches for she takes a large sip of wine.
I have a feeling I can't get you to elaborate on that.
Well, just as you can't really elaborate on yours, I suppose I can't really elaborate on mine.
Ah. Understandable.
I suppose the best bit of advice I could give you is there are 2 ways you could go about this. You can, of course, try to break it. That's very noble of you. Very desirable. Speaking as the other half of the coin you find yourself on, and also accept it. Live the life, the cards that were dealt to you. What my life could have been, maybe was spectacular. But I wouldn't be the everyman, now would I? Felix Faircourt. Well, we have an idea of who they are, what they might be, what is possible from them. Whoever you were, ask yourself the question. Do you actually want to be them?
Felix Faircourt dies on this quest. There will be a body in an unmarked grave, no one mourning them. The person that I was had ties. There are people out there that want him back. At least I've convinced myself of that.
Yes. But that's the nature of the curse, isn't it? And you watch as she like pulls out of a jeweled container another one of those monocles. She puts it on. See, with the nature of your curse, whoever you were is as good as dead. And death is a sort of finality to it that allows for moving on. I'm not saying your goal isn't noble. I'm not saying it's not something worth pursuing. But what connections you might have had have almost certainly mourned and moved on. That is the nature of life. And you'll have to either fault someone for that or accept it should you break this. Is that a bridge you're ready to cross? Have you even looked into the reality of what those past connections are doing right now?
I could never decide what was worse. If they are hurting by the fact that I disappeared without a trace, that wound is still fresh, and that I am missed, or if they've moved on and everything's fine without me. I don't know which is worse. So I have been playing the fucking Schrodinger's cat of it all. If I don't know, then nobody is hurting except for me. Nobody is hurting except for me waking up, whispering that name to myself, because I haven't heard someone call me my own name in years. If I don't fix it, if I don't break this curse, then what have the last few years been for? I might as well have died on the side of a road somewhere ages ago. Same things would have happened. Felix Faircourt isn't anyone worth missing.
Everyman smiles, like they sort of like a very knowing smile. It will always be worse not knowing. Because there's going to come a day where you find yourself in the same spot I was. Where you finally, at long last, just needed to know what had happened, what you missed. And in the not knowing, sort of warm, safe darkness, that's where you lie to yourself. That's where you tell yourself it matters or it doesn't matter. You justify your pain or your lack thereof. You twist and turn yourself to not caring, because if you don't care, then it won't hurt. But it always hurts. I'm not saying this to be cruel, Felix. I'm saying this because when I sought my knowledge, it freed me. I certainly am melancholic for my old life. I don't think I miss it, though. Who I was, what I was to become, pales into my achievements here, for good or ill. But I wasn't able to embrace it until I finally looked at what I was afraid to look at. It hurt. It still hurts. But it hurts in the sense of lost potential, than an aching, gnawing hole within you of what might have been. Because that hole's never going to fill up. No amount of song or dance or drink or women or men will ever fill it. Only acceptance can. I'm not saying you have to look now or tomorrow or the next day, but think to yourself who you actually want to be. And I can think of at least one person who's going to care quite a bit if Felix Faircourt's corpse turns up anywhere.
Fine.
Good sport. Now come, eat, drink. You came all this way.
I'm going to drink a lot.
You guys kill both bottles of wine. The food is delicious and amazing. Please roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Jesus.
JK, the food's poison.
We had a nice conversation just for them to kill me. Constitution. 18.
18. Okay. You get you get very intoxicated, but you like stop yourself right before you get to the point where you're like, all faculties would go out the window. So you're just pretty like, you're decently hammered. You notice that Everyman, for the first time ever, they slip just past that point of drunkenness. And it's like, and you can kind of, you get the sense that you get the sort of sense of just like, they're not all there. And you get the feeling of just like, I think I could maybe get a question or two in here. It's like, and every man is like sort of like finishes off their glass of wine. It's like, is the wine gone? Felix, now the wine's gone, Felix.
How bad was your other option? When you looked.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna
that's
ask-
my best skill, baby.
I thought you were gonna ask, like, what's your favorite color?
What's your star sign, baby?
What's your star sign?
21.
What's your most embarrassing moment that I can use
21.
against you?
21. It's like, they just stops like, I saw replacement. I mean, you can look at me, Felix, and you watch as like sort of like very drunken. Like you've seen their transformations before. They're almost entirely like they're instantaneous, perfect. Like shifts very similarly to like if anyone remembers the old X-Men movies, how Mystique would sort of shifts very much in that sort of way. You watch as they transform back into like that sort of male version of themselves, but like instead of being all done up and like perfect, like the boat, the tie's undone, the suit is unbuttoned, everything. It's like they kind of shift towards their like more male presenting form. Then they shift into like you, Felix, but like slightly different, like a mirror, like an alternate universe version of you. Hair's a little longer. Eyes are a different color, but it's like then they shift into more of a female version of you, and then back to the female version of themselves. But they're definitely more again disheveled. The dress is a little bit wrinkled. The furs sort of slide off one shoulder. It's like, I'm not a creature that you necessarily birth. The Feywild has many doors. They can be opened on either side. I was a gift. Gift to a mother and father who had waited so long to have their own. I was their miracle, more than one, because as soon as I arrived, Mother Dearest became pregnant. I had a little baby sibling on the way, and then another. Then And it's only when they had their own, they realized that I just didn't quite fit. But they did love me in their own twisted way. They didn't want to abandon me. That would have been cruel. No. They forgot their love ever existed. And see, I found a way to break the curse. I guess this is why I warned you. The thing you need to break the curse can sometimes be another person. And when you're confronted with what you're actually doing, to free yourself, you might find that freedom is its own set of chains you weren't quite prepared for. Am I cursed? Certainly. Is my conscience clear? Absolutely. But what about you, Felix? Suppose that's something you'll have to mull over. Are you willing to kill to get your life back? And I don't
If
mean
you had asked me 6 months ago, it would have been a hesitant yes. But now I don't know.
you're not a killer, Felix. You've killed, certainly. There's a difference in defending yourself versus destroying something for what is purely selfish reason. I don't judge anyone. Curses are personal, and they are difficult to navigate regardless of who you are. But curses are not a death sentence. Removing them sometimes can be. Anyway.
Live with it, nerd.
It's like,
Damn you.
anyway. You sneaking little boy, you caught me slipping. Well, everybody gets one, I suppose. Feel free to keep the suit. I'm sure we'll be having more of these chats down the road. Wouldn't want you to feel underdressed. Oh, by the way, you watch as he snaps his fingers and like a portal opens behind you. It's like, that'll take you anywhere you want to go. But before you leave, those monocles I gave you. At some point, I think it's going to help you more than hurt you if you didn't hand those out. A little outside perspective never hurts, darling. Anyway, enjoy your vacation. And you step through the portal. And where you go next, what you do with the remainder of your downtime, that'll be something for next time. As that is where we'll end our episode for today. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Dances with Dice. Please follow us on all social media channels at Dances with Dice. When you use the hashtag DWDcast or DWDart, we'll use you as named NPCs in the show. Thank you all for joining us, and join us every single Tuesday for new episodes of Dances with Dice.
Wee.